It's Iowa Public Radio Studio 1. I'm Tony Dehner. We're at the Mission Creek Festival, and I am here with your Smith.
That's right.
Welcome to Iowa City.
You can call me Caroline.
Caroline,
Yeah.
okay.
Just you, because you're my friend.
Aw. That's true. We this is not the first time we've spoken. You were in our studios. It's been at least 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And it was not long after Half About Being a Woman came out. Mm-hmm. What do you remember about that time and maybe even that session?
I have so many fond memories about Iowa City, and I remember them quite well because for a while, half my band was from Iowa. So we actually have a lot of friends here, and I'm here solo right now, but I've been able to maintain those friendships. And so I was just texting with my old drummers from Washington, Iowa. His name is Arlen Pfeiffer. And we were just going back and forth about all the times we had in Iowa and everybody we know. So I just remember that specific trip. It was the old band. It was so much fun. We loaded in. We did the interview. I don't know. It was just such fond memories here.
Quite a bit has changed since then. You started going by your Smith.
Yep.
You became a parent.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
You have new music out this year. You've put out a few singles for the first time in about 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mind talking about this little gap here?
Of course.
What happened there?
Yeah. So the pandemic really switched things up for me, really hit me hard, flipped my boat upside down, as I'm sure it did for 99.9% of the people out there. And as you just said, I've been touring for, that was 10 years ago, and that was in the middle of my career. I've been going hard for 18 years. And the pandemic for me offered just enough breathing room to step away and do the things that I never really got to do because I was just on this never-ending revolving door tour schedule and writing schedule and, high achieving, trying to make my dreams come true, white knuckling every achievement. And so, everything came to a grinding halt, and it was either I sit in my room and make TikTok videos and try to keep pushing that boulder up the hill. But I just gave myself the grace and the permission to step back and explore other things I always wanted to explore. So I did that, bought a restaurant with my husband, had a baby, got married. He's my husband now. Went back to school, got my degree, just got to try my hand at a bunch of things, and then music came back knocking, and I was like, I'm ready.
Why now?
It was all just kind of serendipitous. It was something that I had let go of. And the cheesy saying, let it go and it shall return, or whatever the saying is, I butchered it horribly. But really reputable, nice label just cold DM'd me on Instagram. Just was like, are you signed? And I was like, I've been fighting for this moment. And it just took me to step away to get that DM of all things. I didn't even have a manager at the time. I was fully just, I was retired.
Were you kind of prepared for that? Were you at peace with not making music anymore?
Yeah, fully. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, I was, it was such a revelation to have music be something that I did for fun and not for, commodification. It was really just a really important lesson and thing for me to learn was how to find the joy in music again, not to be super cheesy, but and now my career I feel is on my terms. I'm not, like I said, white knuckling every achievement, trying to make sure it happens the way it's supposed to happen. I just let it flow, let it do its thing.
Are there any similarities or lessons to be learned from running a restaurant that apply to being a professional musician? Oh
my goodness. Yeah, it's really funny. So my husband's name is Adam. It's his restaurant. I really don't do much. He's the mastermind. He's been a chef. It's just as long as I've been a musician. He's been on that trajectory his whole life. He's now thrust in the public eye. And he's like, it's like everybody's looking at you all the time. You're under a microscope. You don't get any peace. I'm like, yeah, welcome. How is it? We get a bad review. It's just a bad, Instagram comment or a bad YouTube comment. I'm like, don't read the comments, man. So.
The new go ahead and talk about some of this new music. Change of Heart, that first single. It's a great song.
Thank you.
And it is a little different from what you have been doing. Like, what were you listening to at the time?
That song, man, that's a really good question. I think I've always listening to Paul McCartney as like a huge inspiration. When you try to write a Paul McCartney song, it's when you write a terrible song. That's like trying to be like, I'm going to run a marathon as fast as Usain Bolt. It doesn't work like that. So we wrote that song and I was like, oh my God, it kind of reminds me, dare I say, of a Paul McCartney song. So it's a song, like I've always wanted to write a song like that, kind of like a loose, jangly, like, arrow through me kind of song. So it just came out.
And you've released a couple of more singles since then.
Yeah.
Are you building towards something?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm releasing an album this fall in September.
And so how long did it take you to write some of these songs?
10 years.
Okay.
No, some of them are like not 10 years. But some of them, a good portion of them, before I walked away from music, when I was still kind of like, oh, I could do the TikTok thing. I'll just keep writing, whatever. We wrote a lot of the songs at that time, and then I just kind of laid them down and walked away. And I was like, maybe I'll revisit them, maybe I won't. And when I say we, I mean my collaborator on the album was Jake Luppen from Hippo, and a lot of songs are also written with the guitar player from Hippo named Nathan Stalker. And so we wrote a lot of these songs together before I walked away. And then when I got that Instagram DM from Network, then I was like, yeah, I have some songs I've been working on, and I sent them, and they were like, these are great. Let's finish the album. And I was like, gladly. So we went back in and wrote the rest of the songs.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You mentioned Hippo, and we have a bit of a relationship with them. My colleague spoke with them.
Okay, cool.
At Hinterland. I did not. They seem cool.
They're so cool. Oh my
That's
gosh.
great.
It's not fair. They're like all super handsome. They're all like very talented, like conservatory talented. Like all of them can play any instrument very, very well. And on top of that, they're the most gracious, kind, generous, giving, passionate young men I've maybe met.
That's so great to hear.
It's wild. Yeah, it's crazy.
You have mentioned TikTok a couple of times. Is this
Curse it?
We've all had to. It's infiltrated all of our
Embrace
lives.
our new reality.
Has this become an important platform for you?
No. I mean, for wasting my time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very important for taking me out of my daily life that I should be focusing on. But no, I have had some success on TikTok, I shall say. But I just don't know what thing is going to take off and what isn't. And it is just not my favorite thing to be trying to, I don't know, what's the shoot for the moon every time.
You're playing at Gabe's tonight.
Yes,
and
I
this
am.
is a solo show?
This is a solo show. Yep. But it's a very high energy solo show.
High energy in, like, are we talking dance moves?
For sure.
Okay.
Yes. A lot of dancing. It's like, Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins?
Yeah.
When he's got like the kick drum on his back and the cymbals on his knees and the accordion and like the honker on his shoulder. Sorry, my son loves that movie.
Okay.
And he's like a one-man band. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that. I got guitars. I got turntables. I got triggers and pads and Ableton. And I'm kind of just doing it all at once.
That sounds incredible. I'm super excited. I was excited before. Now I'm really excited for this.
Yeah.
I assume you've done this before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing, so I kind of created this solo set, Dick Van Dyke solo set, so I could afford to open for other bands without having to bring a band. It's just kind of like my business-minded way of like not taking money I don't need to take that I have to pay back eventually. So I kind of crafted this set where it felt like a full band. It felt like a full set. Where I could dance and express myself the way I like to without being stuck with an acoustic guitar. And I just loved it. I just love doing it. It's so fun. I feel like really creative up there. It's like I get to mix in some of my favorite songs that I didn't make. And yeah, it's one of my favorite ways to perform. I love having a band, but the solo show sometimes I just kind of figure out what mood I'm in. I'm like, I think I want to do the Iowa City Gabe small venue show, just me up there. So I get to kind of choose what I want to do.